Hello everyone and welcome to a Boxmode webinar. My name is Vlad and I work at Boxmode. We'll start in a minute, so we will wait a bit for those who are running late. We can chat in the meantime. Also, I'd like to let you know that there is a lag around 10 seconds between what I do and when you see and hear it. So it might cause some delay in communication. So how are you? Where are you from? Just let me know if you can hear me okay in the chat. Hello, AV. Thanks for joining. And hello, Gaetan. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Thanks for being here. Hi, Olivia. Hi, Alicia. And Vinny. Hello. Thanks for joining. Hello, John. Hello, Juliana. Well, I think we can start. Hello once again, my name is Vlad and I'm a part of marketing team at Boxmode, and I'm really excited to be the host of today's webinar. We're going to talk about how to build a portfolio website during this webinar. Hello, Adila. Thanks for joining. And before we continue, let me say a couple of words about who we are and what we do. We are a young website building platform, and our goal is to make the website creation process as simple as possible, regardless of technical knowledge, experience, or budget, so that everyone can build a website in the shortest amount of time possible, and at the same time following all the best industry practices. So our platform offers intuitive drag and drop features that allow you to design a professional website without any formal training in web design or web development. And during this webinar, we'll start building a portfolio website using tools of Boxmode platform, but at the same time, some of the concepts that we'll be covering today, they are universal, and they can be applied to different CMS platforms as well. So here is a webinar structure. First, we will briefly talk about the benefits of having the website, and then we will start building a website and reviewing different sections that portfolio website could have. We had scheduled around 25-30 minutes for the main part, and plus your questions in the end. I have a question from Adila. Would we get a recording of this? Yeah, sure. After the webinar will be finished, you'll find the recording of this webinar on the YouTube channel. So let's kick things off by answering the question of why you would need a portfolio website in the first place. Many professionals have their online presence represented via LinkedIn profile. And of course, this is a very powerful channel of self-promotion nowadays. But it might not be sufficient enough, especially for creative professionals, such as photographers, copywriters, designers, and a wide range of artists to present their work online. And I'm curious if we have representatives of aforementioned occupations today. Let me know on the chat. A portfolio website is a great way to showcase your skills, your work achievements, your projects and case studies. It is being used to demonstrate your authority on a given subject. Also, a portfolio website, it helps you to create a connection with your potential clients. People tend to bond with people who are open, and it is always a good idea to show that you are a human being, just like everyone else, with your own values, with your own interests and imperfections. And the portfolio website is a way to show this. It's a way to narrate your story on your terms that will resonate with your audience and potential customers. So nowadays, a portfolio website is a must-have instrument in the toolkit of any creative professional. So how hard is it to build a website? Often there is a misconception that in order to build a website, one must learn how to code or hire a developer, and then it takes lots of time, effort, and money. But luckily, this is not the case, and building the website is way less strenuous exercise. But it still requires a bit of dedication and time. So let's go to the boxmode.com and dispel the aforementioned concerns. So registration is simple, requires no card, only email and password. I already have an account, so I'll just log in. To start building a website, we need to select the template, and we'll be offered different templates to choose from once clicking on create a new project. So let me check the chat. Thanks for being active in the chat. I can see that we have today a graphic designer, we have a designer, we have a copywriter, and a painter. Thanks for answering my questions. So as you can see, the templates, they are grouped under different categories, but it doesn't mean that you need to choose the category that matches your occupation, because basically any template can be customized to fit your unique use case. So let's say we're building a portfolio website for a creative writer. And for our webinar, let's pick this wordsmith template. I think this is a perfect match for this use case. But again, any template can be customized, and you can make it look anything you want. So before choosing a template, you can always check how it looks using this preview mode. Let's click on it. And if you like what you see, like you can jump straight to editing this template by clicking on this button. So here is the same template in the edit mode. And this is so-called hero section. And this is the first point of contact with your website visitor. And the way this section looks, it will determine whether people would want to explore your website further. Obviously, it should look good and interesting. Fortunately, when using a professionally designed template, you can be sure that the best practices and all the nitty-gritty details, they were taken into account. And this template offers us very interesting take on personal portfolio website design, and it already captures our attention. So how do we go about and customize the stock images, text, and content on the website? So in order to change something, we need to click on the element we want to customize, and we will see a tooltip with possible options. So we can, for example, if we want to change the position of some element, we can grab it using this cross arrow icon and drop it somewhere on the website where we want it to be. And if you want to change the text, we just simply need to click on the text, click on the edit, and substitute the text. So the text in main heading is really important. And if we are talking about the personal portfolio website, it is totally okay if this is your name, including for the reasons of search engine optimization. When a search engine analyzes the content of the page, it pays special attention to what is written in the main heading. And having your name added here, it sends strong signals to search engines that this web page is about you, therefore increasing chances of your website to show up in search results when someone is searching your name. And people, when checking who they want to work with, can Google the name of that person. And if the website of that person shows up in search results, it will help you to score extra credibility points, boost your personal recognition, and so on. By the way, if you are interested to learn more about the topic of SEO, you could check out our previous webinar where we discussed some of the basic aspects of websites on-page optimization, and I'll ask my colleague to share a link with you in the chat. So if you wish to change the font, you can play with the list of available fonts here and pick one that appeals to you more. But make sure to not use too many fonts. Do not use more than 2 or 3 fonts. And also make sure that you're using the same fonts across all pages of your website to be consistent, because consistency is one of the crucial components of a good design. For page title, you can use one font family. For body text, you can use another font family, and do not intermix them. If you're not sure which font to use, you can rely on the default fonts of the template, or as a source of inspiration, you can check, for example, the Google fonts. And here you will see the most popular fonts, the most trending, newest fonts, and so on. And always remember that typography is an essential part of any design. And that's because most of the content of your website is going to be text. So it's quite important to make that content look good and easy for users to read. And good typography can make design look very professional. So along with the font, you can change the color. You can make it more dull or vivid, depending on what you're trying to achieve and how much emphasis you would like to put on certain elements on the website. And it is also important to remember that having too many different colors in different places, or having incompatible color combinations, or having bad color contrast, it will make the overall design look unprofessional and messy. And we don't want that. So, and we need to approach this question with caution. Color choice is a very big topic, and designers, they put a lot of thought into picking a color scheme, and this goes beyond the scope of this webinar. And if you're not familiar with the color theory and its application in web design, the safe bet is to rely on the default colors of the template. And those of you who would like to learn more about this topic, you could start with reading our article on this subject, and I'll ask my colleague to share a link to that article in the chat, so you can check it out after the webinar. So let's talk about this picture. Yeah. So obviously we don't want to create a false representation of ourselves by putting not our picture here in this particular case, because it will backfire and damage our credibility. But for the sake of this webinar, let's pretend that this is the image of the website owner. When working with important images on the website, remember to put alternative text for them. In our case, it's the name of the author. And to do that, we just need to click on the text, click on the edit, and click on image text. And here write the author name. It will tell search engines what this image is about, and in turn it will help this image to appear in search results in Google. And so when someone will search for a name, this image will show up and will give you additional exposure and traffic in return. So I think we can move on to another section for now. The template gives us hints on sections that are expected on the website. And it is obvious that on a portfolio website, you would want to talk about yourself. So this is just a must-have section to have. So you can take it as a framework and substitute the text in it. Again, the flow is the same. You just click on the text, click on the edit, and change the text. So the most of the elements of the template, they can be customized using the same flow. And for the sake of saving time during this webinar, I will be omitting modification of the majority of different items. So now let's check how we can change the image. So what we need to do, we need to click on the image, click on the edit, and click on change the image. So here we'll see a list of images that were used to create this template. We can upload new images from our computer, or we can upload images from the Unsplash, the service that is integrated with the Boxmode. It offers us an uncountable number of stock photos we can use. And for example, let's type a book cover. And let's pick this one. So this way we can change the image. If we want to change how the image fits inside the container, we can just click on the edit and click on this crop option and zoom in or zoom out to make it look the way we want. And don't forget to add the image text here as well. Not just to tell search engines what the image is about, it also allows people who use screen readers to understand what the image is. So let's go to another section. And here we can see upcoming events section. Events in general are a great way to gain access to your core audience. And they can be used not just to promote yourself, they're also about talking with your peers and potential customers and getting in personal feedback. It's about sharing knowledge, sharing experience. Events will help you to boost your personal brand recognition, especially if you generate event-related content by capturing a video of presentation or lecture, or records a webinar and share it on social media. As for the section itself, it consists of text and image elements, and we already know how to modify them. In case if you wish to link this thumbnail of the event image to detailed event page, you can just click on the image, click on the link option, and put the URL of the respective event page like this. So I think we can move on to another section. This section contains a list of skills and awards you would like your audience to know about. It's kind of an extended version of the About Me section. And in addition to substituting text and images here, you can also change this percentage scale by clicking on it, clicking on this CSS panel on the left, and changing the width, making it the way you need. As for this button, you can make it download the file on click by just simply clicking on the button, clicking on this link option. And as an action type, you can choose to download file. And here you can add the respective file URL, or you can grab a file from the assets library of your project. So let's go to the next section. And this one contains a list of books, which is suitable for our use case. But in case if you don't need some section, it can be removed. We can click on this trash bin icon. And if you did something by mistake, you can always undo it by clicking on the back option. But for now, I'll just get rid of this section. If you're a visual creator, your creation can speak for itself. And to make it simple for you to showcase a visual work, we have a gallery widget. So let's add it to the page. So to add some new item to the page, we need to click on this add widget option and choose the widget we want to add. In our case, it's a gallery. Gallery widget comes in different layouts depending on what your goals are. Let's pick this mosaic layout. It looks very interesting. So we grab it and drop it where we want it to be, like this. So if you would like to check how other templates of this widget looks, you can change them in the gallery widget drop-down template menu. In case if you want to change the number of items added to the gallery, you can go to the settings. Here you can add new items like this with one click. You can remove items. You can change the position of the items by grabbing them and putting them where you want it to be. Obviously, you can change the default media, the stock pictures that were used, by following the same flow as we discussed when substituting the About Me image. Also, you can activate Open in the Lightbox. What it means is whenever the image in the gallery will be clicked on, it will be enlarged and it will occupy the visible area of the screen, and therefore make it more easier for your visitors to look closer to your art. So you can also activate the hover effect, and also you can add the image title and image description. So these are very intuitive and easy to use tools that will help you to create an amazing gallery of your work. So let's go to the next section. It is always a good idea to provide your users with means to get back to you, to ask you a question or to share feedback. So we can link this button to the Contact Us page by clicking on the button, clicking on the link option, and putting the URL of the Contact Us page here. We'll examine the Contact Us page along with the form widget in a moment after we finish with the home page. So also you might have noticed this open in a new tab toggle option that controls whether a link will open in the same tab or not. So, and this seemingly minor detail is a major topic of debate in UX communities. And there are several reasons why it is better for a link to open in the same tab. The first, it's a mobile experience. Majority of the traffic comes from mobile devices. And since they have smaller screen, it is difficult for users to navigate between different tabs. So having your link open in the same tab, it kind of reduces chances of the mobile user getting lost and unable to find previous tab. When a link opens in the same tab, there is always a back button on any browser to return back to the previous page. And another reason is related to the accessibility, because people with visual impairments, they browse your website using screen readers. And older screen readers, they do not notify users when link open in the new tab. So, and this might cause a confusion. So having a link open in the same tab, it will prevent these issues from happening. So let's move to another section. Here we can see testimonials. There are several reasons why testimonials is an important part of any website. Testimonials, it helps you to build trust. They work like referrals. They can explain benefits of services that you provide and their impact. So this is a great way to create an emotional connection. As for the customizing this section, it consists of text and image content that we already know how to change. So I think we can move forward. Here we can see a latest news. In case if you're writing a blog or have some interesting news to share, it can be also added to the homepage. But there's another thing to consider when building a homepage. So the thing is then when you have lots of media files on the page, like these article thumbnails, it slows down the overall page loading speed. And this is bad for user experience. No one wants to wait until page loads. So you need to make sure that only the most important aspects of your activity are highlighted on the home page, and do not stuff everything you have here to avoid the page loading speed issue. Secondary things you can put on other pages of your website. So for now, I'll just remove this latest news section. And if you have some important event, you could emphasize it in a separate section like this. There's nothing new to this section that we have not covered yet, but except for the background image. So let's take a look at it. So we need to go to the section settings and click on this brush icon. So we can substitute image by choosing it from computer or library, the same way we did it with the About Me image. Also, we can remove image completely by switching to the background color instead. And also check this parallax effect that is activated in position in browser option. So whenever the image is, whenever the page is scrolled up or down, the background image remains fixed, and this adds interesting dynamic to the page. So I think we can leave this section as it is and move on. And every website, it must have a footer. Footer usually contains links to main navigation menu, links to copyright notice, like links to terms and conditions and privacy policy, links to social media. So to add a link to your social media, you can just click on the respective icon, click on the link option and put here the respective URL of your social media profile. So other elements of this footer can be customized the same way we already discussed. And if you want to customize another page of our website, we need to go to this drop-down menu. And here where we can add new pages, we can delete pages, duplicate pages. And if we need to switch to edit mode of another page, we just need to click on it from here. Let's click on the Contact Us page. So Contact Us page, it usually contains your location, if that is relevant for what you are doing, your contact information, obviously. Also, there is a form. Any visitor can fill out the form and submit it to send the message to you. And behind the scenes, your contact form triggers an email message to be generated and sent to your email. And this lets you to get messages from your visitors without revealing your email address to spammers. So this form has five fields. It can be changed if you go to the settings. Here we can see these fields. We can remove these fields if we don't need them. We can add new fields. There are 7 different input types that can be added to the form. We can change the position of the fields if we need that. In the Fields tab, we can customize the overall look and feel of the form. And in the button tab, we can customize the message that the people will see after submitting this form, or we can redirect them to some different URL. And in the Send Data To field, you can customize the email address to which messages generated through this form will be sent to. And also you can integrate with the MailChimp. Also, contact us page usually contains a map widget, and it is easy to pin your location to the map. You can just click on the map, click on the settings, and start typing the address of your area here, like this. And it will automatically connect it. So now let's check which page metadata we have control over by going to the global page settings in this drop-down menu. So we can change page URL and page title and page meta description. So the information added here is relevant to search engines. It helps search engines to understand the context of this page. So make sure to put here relevant information using keywords that you would like this page to be found by in Google. Also remember that this information might be shown in search results in Google, so make sure it is human readable and written for your potential website visitors and make it appealing. And it is considered a good practice to make page meta title and meta description to be unique for each separate page. Also, you can change here the preview of your page for social networks. So the thumbnail that you add here, the page title and the page description, it will be shown along with the link to your page whenever this link will be shared on Facebook or Twitter or other social media. So, which will make this page basically, this link to stand out and look more prominent. And of course, all Boxmode websites are mobile responsive by default. You can verify this by switching between different preview modes here. You can see no additional work is required to make the website fit on the mobile screen. And once you finish customizing your website, you can publish it by clicking on Publish, choosing the URL that is not occupied, and confirm publishing. So let me briefly summarize. Your own portfolio website will help you to not just showcase yourself and your work achievements, but it also will help you to create a connection with your audience. It will generate search traffic. It will bring more awareness to you and to what you're doing. And nowadays, if you wish to put your personal brand on the next level and stand out from all the online buzz as an expert, having your own portfolio website is imperative. And remember that when building a website, a critical part of user experience is maintaining a mutual understanding and expectations for what it means to interact with the website. And when building a website using professional design templates, you can be sure that all minor UX and UI details, they were reckoned with and thought out by professionals to match industry standards. And Boxmode platform provides you with all tools that you need to create a website with ease. So thank you for your attention. This is it for the main part, and now we can go to the questions. So question from AV, can we make a Rickroll website? Honestly, I don't know what the Rickroll is, so I'll need to Google it. I see it's a prank. Well, you can try, why not? A question from Alicia. Can I add a custom domain? Yes, you can add a custom domain. Well, first, as you might have noticed that the free Boxmode domains, they have boxmode.io extension. Yeah, by default, and it's a free domain. In case if you wish to connect the custom domain, you can go to the project settings of your website, and in the project settings, let me publish the website first before we can connect the custom domain. See, so in the project settings, we go to manage domains, and here you'll be able to add the custom domain by following these instructions here. If you purchase a domain from a third-party service provider, the first thing that you would need to do is to go to the DNS settings of the domain provider and make sure that the respective settings are set in accordance with these instructions that you can see. Once it is completed, you can just verify your domain here by plugging into this field and clicking on verify, and it's going to be connected after that. And if you purchase a domain from us, which is also an option, you don't need to do any extra except for confirming that domain after we send you a verification email. But other than that, you don't need to bother with setting up any DNS settings. Also, in case if you purchase a basic subscription for $33 per year, you will get a free custom domain for 1 year. Hope I answered your question. Question from Mary, do you have a blog? No, Mary, we don't have a blog yet, but it is on our roadmap and it's going to be implemented in the nearest future. So we understand this is very important feature to have, and we will make it working soon. Question from Olivia, do you offer any monetization tools? Well, at this moment, we only have, in terms of monetization tools, we only have the PayPal option. So you can plug in the PayPal button where you can collect donations or payments from your website visitors. But other than that, we don't have monetization tools yet, but we are working on the online store functionality that is going to be implemented in the nearest time as well. And it will help you to merchandise physical goods and so on. Question from John, what is the subscription cost? Well, the functionality that you saw during this webinar, it's free. But in case if you wish to get additional benefits, you can purchase a basic annual plan. And in addition to free custom domain, you'll get 5 GB of extra storage. You'll get chat support with real support agents. And also to remove the Boxmode branding, because free websites, they all have the Boxmode branding. Question from Daniel, what are the differentiating points of this service with others such as Wix or Squarespace or WordPress? Well, it's a good question. So We are a young website builder, and obviously if we compare ourselves to big players on the market, in feature-wise, they might have more features, but but majority of our clients, they don't require that many features, and they need the minimum. We offer that minimum. We offer websites that are mobile responsive by default, that are fast loading websites, which is important. They're SEO friendly, and well, that's basically the main difference. And by the way, to stay tuned for recent platform updates, our plans, news, etc., you can join our Facebook community, subscribe to our channel, to our LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. You'll find links in the description to this video. Also, I will ask my colleagues to share it with you in the chat. Let me know if you have any other questions. Well, I think I don't see any more questions, so I think we can finish for today. I really do appreciate you coming to this webinar and being active. Thanks for your questions. Hope you enjoyed the webinar and found something new today. I do appreciate your time, and hope to see you next time. Goodbye.